it seems like nowadays almost every single YouTuber, once they get to a certain popularity, is starting to make their own food brands and snacks they're trying to sell to their fans. A lot of these YouTubers say a lot of pretty bold claims about their food, whether it's being healthy, organic, or so and so, but all of them are basically not telling the truth entirely. Obviously, if you're trying to sell something to someone, you want them to buy it. So I just want to do an entirely unbiased review on the top six, I would say, biggest creator food brands and if they're really healthy or not. So first I want to start with Mr. Beast. So the biggest thing Mr. Beast claims and talks about a lot is actually has nothing to do with the chocolate. It has more stuff to do with the fact that it's a fair trade corporation and that his journey is to end child labor, which I love and think is a great thing, but that doesn't really have any impact on whether it's healthy or not. So when I'm actually looking at the general nutrition facts, I want to look at sort of the most like bought thing on his website, which would probably be his milk chocolate bar. It's like the most classic thing that you can buy. So I went to his nutritional facts and values. I just want to say one quick thing. One bar is 2 servings, which kind of confused me. I thought one bar would be 1 serving, but no. So everything you see here, you kind of have to double. So calories, we're looking at 180, but it's actually 360. And then sugar, we got 15 grams of sugar, which in reality is 30 grams of sugar, which for me is way too much. And then here we got the ingredients and the allergens. But overall, my biggest critique on Mr. Beast's Feastable Bar milk chocolate is that too much sugar. I also want to take a look at his dark chocolate bar because usually dark chocolate is more healthy than milk chocolate. So this probably be his healthiest bar. And as far as calories, it's actually the same. And then it's a little bit less sugar, but only 2 grams less than the full bar. So pretty similar in terms of ingredients and macros for the chocolate bars that Mr. Beast sells. But that's also not the only thing that Mr. Beast sells. So I wanted to look at some other stuff. Another thing he's been promoting a lot is his Mr. Beast chocolate milk. And it comes in 2 different sizes. I think it comes in a 16 ounce and an 8 ounce. This is 16 ounce. And then the 8 ounce is like the carton that you'll see a lot of times when you're watching a YouTube video. And when you go in the nutritional facts, I think there's a glitch. For some reason, it says 6 servings per container, which I don't think is true because that means there's over 1,000 calories in these things, which I don't think is true. So I don't think this nutritional label is 100% correct. So hopefully they can update that. As far as calories go, 230 calories per carton isn't bad. We got 23 grams of sugar and 13 grams of protein. So overall, not horrible, but could definitely be better. Here's the ingredients and the allergens. But overall, Feastables, I think, biggest critique, too much sugar. That's why I'm putting Feastables in B tier, I think, because not horrible, but definitely could be better. All right, next up, we have Sweets by Nico, I think. If you don't know Nico, he's basically a YouTuber. He's part of the Beta Squad group. And he does a lot of videos running for mayor in London and running for prime minister in the UK. And he always wears these sunglasses. That's sort of his thing whenever he's running for any of these things. He wears these like yellow sunglasses. And so he kind of turned that into his branding, which I think is cool. Biggest things he talks about is that it's vegan, halal, because a lot of his fans are Muslim. So that would make sense. But as far as actually trying to find the nutritional value on these shade sweets, it's pretty hard. Once you look it up, you can see that these macros and nutritional value for this product is absolutely abysmal. 360 calories, 85 grams of carbs, and 64 grams of sugar. Way too much. And to add salt to the wound, it's only 0.8 grams of protein. So realistically, you're just eating straight sugar. So that's not really the best thing for you. So that's why I had to put this in D tier because I can't find the nutritional value, and the nutritional value is absolutely horrible. But next, I want to move on to Ryan Trahan. He basically started his company Joe Right, I think in summer of 2025. But it basically sort of took off when he was doing his 50 states in 50 days video, and he would advertise it in basically every video. So I wanted to find one of his more common sweets to review. Same thing with Feastables, but I just basically continue to have the problem for these websites of easily finding nutritional value labels and stuff of that sort. So again, I just had to do the thing where I looked it up, but I found these three, but these are some of the most common candies. So we got the blueberry sour strips with 70 calories, sorry, 4 grams of sugar. And then we got the watermelons, whatever, 60 calories and 5 grams of sugar. So relatively pretty low sugar content from these and low calorie. But if I'm gonna be honest, it's basically just putting like a little bit of sugar in your mouth. Like as far as candy goes, it's not bad, but you're not really getting any like vitamins or nutrients out of it. So that's why I decided to put it in the B tier. Next up, we got Prime by KSI and Logan Paul. So this is what the Prime website looks like when you open it up. It just has Logan Paul and KSI advertising the ice pop drink, which I think has to do with it being July 4th soon, so they're trying to advertise that. But again, I had the problem where it's pretty hard to find the nutritional value on this thing, but you just gotta scroll down a little bit, and then I ended up eventually finding it. But as far as macros go, for this one at least, it's 20 calories. Pretty low on the sodium, but has a good amount of potassium. I don't know why these drinks have very low sodium. I know sodium is definitely needed to rehydrate, especially after long workouts. So overall, not bad, low calorie. But I'm gonna have to put Prime in the A tier because it gives you a good amount of vitamins as far as B12 and other things like that. But next up, we have Jacksepticeye. He has this coffee brand called Top of the Morning. I think, he basically, in every video, he'd be drinking coffee, so I just decided to make it a brand. Whenever I'm doing these reviews, I always want to go to the most popular things. So I went to this Midnight Oil, which is his most popular coffee that he sells. Whenever I go to the ingredients, I get a little confused because it says 100% Arabic coffee. So obviously, what is in 100% Arabic coffee? I was trying to figure that out, and I was like, okay, surely if I change the flavor, it should change some of the ingredients, right? Because how is it going to have the exact same ingredients and taste the same? So then I went over here and I looked at the ingredients, and it's the same thing, 100% Arabic coffee. So I don't really know what's going on there. Maybe I haven't looked into it good enough, but as far as looking up how good coffee is for you, it's not bad for you, really. I mean, especially if you're not putting any like extra sweeteners in it, like you're at Starbucks or something. But as long as you're drinking his classic coffee, it's actually pretty good for you. Just don't drink it before bed because it might mess up your sleep. But yeah, this is all I have to really say. But they also do pretty good sourcing as far as where they get it from. You got different places around the world, but I think that in general, overall, looking through all this, not bad. It's not going to be like as good as like steak and eggs or something like that, but I wouldn't say it's unhealthy. Just probably a more higher quality version of the coffee you drink every morning if you do drink coffee. So I just put it in the A tier. And last but not least, we have Lunchly. So Lunchly was created by Logan Paul, KSI, and Mr. Beast to sort of combine the worlds of Feastables and Prime. That's why I wanted to do it last. So here is the Lunchly website. This is what they advertise right away. Let me just get rid of that. But basically, I remember there was sort of a scandal over Lunchly, just the fact that it's meant to be a lunch replacement. And if you look at this, you have one bottle of Prime, you have one mini Feastable bar, and then you got chips. That's not a full meal, for a kid that's going to school. You need something more substantial than that. So that's one critique I definitely have, is just not enough as to consider it like a meal. But they have a couple of different varieties. The most common one I think is the pizza. That's the one I see people talking about the most. But here are the ingredients. Pretty long ingredients list if you look at it, like water, citric acid, Dipotassium phosphates, so not the best ingredients, honestly. If you want to look at all the ingredients, you can. But honestly, just way too much ingredients. Like, this pizza has over like 50 ingredients, which can never really be a good thing. And I wouldn't really just suggest this to many people. I think what carries it is that the prime's not bad for you, and then the Mr. Beast bar isn't horrible for you, but the pizza, definitely would not recommend someone to have this. I mean, if you're in a time crunch and you have to eat something, it's fine, but definitely wouldn't recommend this for the daily intake of your child. I would definitely recommend something better for that, because these are targeted towards kids. And then they also do, I think, try to compare Lunchly to Lunchables, I think somewhere around here. Yeah, right here. So Lunchly has 12 grams of protein, so does Lunchables. Calories, they're saying that's a good thing, they have less calories. I don't think that's the best thing. And then there's 400 milligrams of electrolytes, whereas Lunchables has 15. And sugar is 12 compared to 20, which I guess is a good thing to say, but as far as everything goes, it's either B or C tier. I'm going to put it C tier. I just think it's worse than Joyride and Feastables. It's just not enough nutritional value. But overall, I hope you guys enjoy this list, and if you want me to do another list, just let me know. But thanks for watching.